Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sheboygan A's Baseball. My name is Mike Martin, and along with the intern, Charlie Heim, we will be broadcasting tonight's game. Tonight, Sheboygan takes on the Heavy Hitters from the Milwaukee area. We'll give you their starting lineup first. The Heavy Hitters are coached by Alonzo Uribe, and he has Emilio Ramos leading off at short. Julian Jimenez playing center, batting second. Batting third is Ryan Santee, the right fielder. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Pedro Bobonoya. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Joey Lawrence. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Eric Rodriguez. Batting seventh is the catcher, Sean Quaylez. Batting eighth, Kevin Reyes, the second baseman. And batting ninth is Marcus Jens, the DH. Defensively for Sheboygan, they're going to have Jimmy Jurgensen over at first. Bennett Becker is going to play second. Over at third is Harry Stelt, and batting and playing shortstop is Riley Palmquist. Out in the outfield, we have Carson Hansen in left, Gus Walker in center, and Brady Zach Risen in right. Catching is Justin Schnell, and pitching is Brad Reinfleisch. Pitching for the Heavy Hitters is going to be Felix Santiago. Coming into tonight's game, Reinfleisch is this will be his fifth appearance, his fourth start. He has 2 complete games. He has a 2-1 record with a fine ERA of 1.80. He also leads the ball club in strikeouts. Charlie, I didn't realize he's one ahead of Jared Recolaitis with 34.
Just barely ahead in the strikeout race is Brad Reinfleisch in one less inning, one more strikeout. Reinfleisch having a very, very good year to start off. Again, 20 innings pitched with a 1.8 ERA, as you mentioned, letting about a runner and a half per inning on board. Again, those 35 strikeouts. But, of course, one of the problems that we had with Reinfleisch last year in a little bit was the walks. He currently has 19 walks on the year. But still, Brad Reinfleisch, a very, very good pitcher.
One of the top 3 on the staff. Sheboygan comes in with a 10-9 record. The Heavy Hitters are 11-4. When they've played similar competition, the Heavy Hitters have done quite well. It seems like some of the teams that they've played in their league, they just hammer them. Their team batting average is 336.
That's of course, Sheboygan did have a very high batting average throughout the season last year. This year, a little bit of a struggle with just a 236 average on the year for Sheboygan.
Leading off is going to be Emilio Ramos, and he steps in hitting 588. It's almost like video game averages.
Yeah. Not something we usually see, having the other team's stats up here. Is that one first taken for a ball?
Charlie, your partner did his homework this afternoon.
Ooh.
Sometimes it's tough to find up-to-date stats on various teams because they don't keep their websites up-to-date. Seems like, at least from what I gathered, their stats were pretty much up-to-date. But if they aren't, we'll use them anyway.
It's even if they're a few games off, it's likely still close enough for us to.
Yeah, you get the idea how good hitters are.
Yeah.
Paul Grauman is behind the plate. John Coons on the bases. Those are our umpires. Deep drive to left. Hansen racing over. He has to take it on a hop. So that 588 average is going up for Ramos.
Hansen with a good effort towards that. Didn't have the best angle on it initially, and the slide not quite enough, but still stopped Ramos over at first base to bring up Julian Jimenez.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he got his glove on it. Otherwise, it would have got by him, and the runner would have been able to continue on.
Now, you had mentioned that the Heavy Hitters, well, fittingly for their name, very good hitters. You know, a ridiculously high average on the year, 300. Meanwhile, Sheboygan throughout the season has been holding the teams against them to a 219 average. But of course, so far, 1,000 average on the game for Milwaukee.
No balls and 2 strikes on the hitter. I'm looking through my list, and his name does not appear on the stats sheet. We'll go through it for the 3rd time. Not on there. He's not with the pitchers either. And that ball foul ticked right into the mitt of Schnell for out number 1. Ramos hanging on at 3rd, and that brings up Ryan Santee, the right fielder.
Ryan Flesch getting his first strikeout of the game. Something you will see a lot from Brad throughout any of his starts is those many strikeouts.
Santee steps in with a 267 average. Does have a couple of doubles on the year.
Ryan Flesch settling in and tipped foul. Nice
Harry's
catch.
about even with the bag at 3rd, and Jurgensen over at 1st, of course, is holding the runner. The middle infielders are both back looking for the double play.
Wide gap between the corners and the middles. Sheboygan with some new uniforms today.
Yeah, brand new tops.
New alternates. Nice black color on them. CJ, not the biggest fan.
I don't know, I like those sleeves. Gives a little contrast to the black body part of the jersey. The sleeves give a little contrast, and it still maintains some of the trim is maroon. Those are the official colors of Sheboygan, maroon and white. Unless they're wearing the gray uniforms, then it's maroon and gray.
Sometimes uniforms get a little bit weird, but of course, right now Milwaukee wearing gray, so wouldn't be best for us to have our own gray uniforms on.
The wind is blowing pretty stiffly from left field to right field. Rindfleisch now has an even count to work with. Santee came up empty on that last swing.
There's the weather kind of turning for the better as the day went on. Coming into the game, very cloudy. Not too much sunlight, but starting to get a little bit of peeking through from the sun as we start play.
A pitch just a little bit low. Yeah, you're right. And with the sun peeking through, it's still not interfering with our ability to read the scoreboard, which is real nice.
Always a very nice thing when we can actually read it. Don't always keep track of balls and strikes up here, for us at least.
As long as we're talking game time weather, temperature at game time was 54 degrees. Charlie mentioned it's partly cloudy, and I mentioned again the wind is blowing from left field to right field. So any ball hit down the right field line should be pushed foul. Three-two pitch, Ramos not going. And again, Santee doing a great job of hanging in there. Santee on the season has 4 hits and 15 at-bats. I mentioned the 2 doubles. He has 4 RBIs. And we have up-to-date stats on our Sheboygan A's for tonight's game, too. That's nice.
Always nice to have.
Yeah, Tim Moyer does a great job with that. Also, thank you goes out to Alonzo Uribe, the manager for the Heavy Hitters, for the pronunciation updates. If we mispronounce them, it's not his. It's not his fault.
Santee doing a very good job of keeping the bat alive. Couple of fouled off pitches.
Ramos has not been going on any of these 3-2 pitches. There's a line drive base hit to center. Puts runners on first and second with only 1 out, and the number 4 hitter, Pedro Bobonaya, pardon me. He is hitting an even 500, 16 for 32. Does have 5 home runs.
Sheboygan, not exactly too much of a home run hitting team early on in this season. Only 4 on the season for them. If I'm reading the right column. Double checking I am.
I mentioned in several of their games they've really blown out their opponents, and I've got the feeling that some of these high batting averages are a result of that lesser competition that they've played. But based on the first 3 hitters, they've got 2 hits, so maybe I'm wrong.
I was talking to CJ earlier before the game.
I mean, he was talking to you before the game?
Surprisingly, yeah. But the Heavy Hitters played Green Bay, the Blue Ribbons of Green Bay.
Yeah, what was it, 11-9 or something?
What was the score for that one?
17
to 9. Give or take a few.
Yeah, Tiger Lafina in the house. First time we've seen Tiger at the ballpark. And I think I heard Eric out there. Eric's here. Eric Hasenstein.
Pretty big crowd out here today.
Yeah, well, you know, I got here early, so I got one of those 250 cups they're giving away. Hey, good pitch by Ryan Flesh to get the strikeout, and hopefully we can get Joey Lawrence. He's the number 5 hitter playing over at first base.
We are currently, this is game number 20 on the year, and a bit surprising that this is just the first 9-inning home game that we have today. Lawrence settling in.
Lawrence takes that first pitch high and away. We have Ramos on at second. He singled to lead off the ball game. Santee singled with 1 out. He's at first. Owanawa, we said, just struck out, and now it's up to Lawrence. What do you got on him?
Lawrence, a 500 average as well in 31 plate appearances. So, not like he just played a few games, hit well, has been sustaining that.
So far,
548 on base, 577 slugging. So, just not too many walks or extra base hits, but still hitting the ball very consistently, lots of singles.
Well, I was just going to say the opposite. He had, let me see what it says. Yeah, you're right, only 1 extra base hit. I was looking at the wrong columns.
So we got our high-tech ruler out here.
Technology in the press box.
Took it from the other side of the press box. Brought it over here. They won't need it, I'm sure.
Trent Gutsucker, our scoreboard operator. Grant. I knew that. Grant Gutsucker. CJ doing double duty, doing audio enhancements and the field announcing. And, of course, down on this end, you have Charlie and Mike.
I mean, 3/4 of the normal crew, still good, and Grant, obviously, always a good addition when Bill's not available.
So that's part of the reason why I keep showing up. They get a replacement for me, might do a heck of a lot better, and I'll be out of a job.
Full count now.
Full count with 2 outs. The runner should be running on this.
They will do just that, but a walk taken from Lawrence.
Yeah, walk loads the bases, and that brings up Eric Rodriguez. Eric playing out in left field tonight.
Rodriguez, a rare, well, not ridiculously good hitter. Hitting just 150 on the year so far, but very good at drawing walks, 6 walks as opposed to just 3 hits so far on the year for Rodriguez.
I remember Ronnie Hare saying to us pitchers years ago, Anybody that's in the batter's box with a bat is dangerous. Take them seriously.
Baseball is just a game like that where sometimes statistically the best hitter might be one of the easiest outs, and someone who's, not all that great statistically might just do very well in that bat. But
this is a great example right here, Charlie. Here you got this 150 hitter. Hey, if he dumps one in somewhere, it's a run, maybe two. Even though he's hitting 150, you just got to get fortunate one time in the right spot, and this, of course, would be it. But the count is 0-2. Brad looking to put him away. Pitch just off the outside corner.
Brad set to strike out the side if he just gets one more in there past Rodriguez.
Infield deep at all four positions. Called strike three on the inside corner, and Rodriguez is gone. And Milwaukee, or the Heavy Hitters, pardon me, strand the bases loaded after a half inning of play. The Heavy Hitters nothing. Sheboygan coming up.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more. Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more. Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code.
Back at Wildwood Park, getting ready to start the bottom half of the first inning. Leading off for Sheboygan will be Bennett Becker. First time we've seen Bennett in the leadoff spot so far this year.
And a very solid reason to have him in the leadoff. 280 on the year, and still managing to get on base and hit a number of extra base hits.
Yeah, four doubles. It's a pretty good number.
Has a 351 on base, 360 slugging.
Felix Santiago's first two pitches to Bennett are out of the strike zone. It's 2-0. Brady Zach Grisson is in the on-deck circle, racing over with almost had room, but just ran out of room, was the first baseman, Lawrence. Played it well, got over to the fence, then found the ball, but it was just out of his reach. But that's the way you do it. Go to the fence first.
And that one will plunk Becker on the back.
Ouch. Well, it's what the leadoff batter is supposed to do, get on base.
Sometimes got to do it the hard way.
Exactly.
Right fielder, number 18, Brady Zach Grisson.
Brady Zach Grisson up next.
Brady so far one of the best hitters on the team. Overall, 323 average, 416 on base, 508 slugging. Has just torn the cover off the ball, hitting 12 RBIs and a home run, as well as 3 triples so far earlier in the year.
And he had a mighty swing at that first pitch. Couldn't catch up to it. Bennett Becker taking a conservative lead over at first. He does have 2 stolen bases on the year. Pitch is up in the air. There's room. And the catcher not able to make the play on that. That one, first baseman Lawrence could have probably called him off, had a better chance at Sean Quayles, the catcher for the Heavy Hitters.
That one just kind of a difficult play. It's those short pop flies. They can be a little bit difficult at times. Might catch him in the lights, might just lose it in not being a tremendously hard hit ball.
Felix Santiago is 5-0 coming into this game, and Brady takes a called strike 3, and on the pitch, Becker was running. He'll stay at second with a stolen base, and that brings up Harry Stelt. Santiago is making his 6th appearance, his 4th start. He does have 3 complete games. Like I said, he was 5-0. Has 53 strikeouts in 33 innings.
Very impressive clip out there for Santiago.
Yeah, and he fired in a pretty hard fastball there. Harry not able to catch up with it. It's now 0-2. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. And that's going to leave it up to Carson Hansen.
Hansen a little bit slow to start off his Sheboygan A's career, just a .214 average. However, one thing that has really helped him out is the .500 slugging percentage. So even though he's not hitting the ball too much, when he does hit the ball in play, it's going far. And they'll actually intentionally walk him to bring up Jacob Neese, I believe. I believe that
Sounds
is the
like
situation.
the Heavy Hitters did their homework, Charlie. They know all about Carson. That'll bring up Jacob Neese. Neese had his season cut short last year. Was starting to come on when he was injured. This year doing pretty good, .254 average.
Swing outside on that one. Has 9 RBIs so far on the year.
Traditionally, Jacob's a pretty good long ball hitter. Gets his extra base hits.
CJ
There's
noting
a slow
a bit of a
roller
change
right to
stance.
Santiago, and he makes the easy pickup. And after one complete inning of play, no score.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give.
Looking at the schedule, Charlie, on Wednesday, June 21st, the Heavy Hitters will be back in Sheboygan to play the A's. So So in pretty quick order, they're going to be playing one another. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday when Kenosha comes to town for what looks like a doubleheader with a 1 o'clock start.
One popped up high.
Yeah, Queles pops it up, and Bennett Becker able to range over and make the easy catch. That's going to bring up Kevin Reyes, a late addition to the starting lineup. He was not originally penciled in.
As we said, Reyes not initially part of the lineup that was given to the press box, but later added in. He checks his swing on one that I believe was called inside the zone regardless. And one way inside. Brad very much not happy with that pitch.
One ball, one strike, one out. We're in the top of the second. Milwaukee, the heavy hitters threaten. There's a slow roller to Palmquist. And the throw gets past. Jimmy was a little bit high. Probably should have been caught. It's going to be an error either way.
Be an error on Palmquist. And that is something that Sheboygan has struggled with so far in this year, that being their 39th error committed so far in the season. Other teams only committing 22 errors against them. So Sheboygan's fielding just has struggled quite a bit early on in the season.
19, how much is 2 times 19? 38?
Yep.
We have 39, 2 a game. Yep, that's not good. Marcus Jens, the number 9 hitter, and DH is up. Reyes running on the pitch.
Now, while usually a team is more than happy to stay on track for something in their, of their statistics, error definitely not something you want to keep on track. So, having the extra error not helping out. Meanwhile, Reyes over on first, 10 stolen bases on the year, so very happy to run when he manages to get on base.
He's leaning already. Doesn't go on that pitch. And another foul ball by Jens. Jens not seeing much action. Charlie, he's only got 3 at-bats, but he does have 2 hits.
Very solid in his limited appearances is Jens.
Good throw by Reinflesch, but the runner Reyes able to get back in time. Reyes is the kind of base runner that can cause fits for a pitcher.
Taking off once
Takes
again.
off again. Nice throw, and he's out of there. What a throw by Schnell. The extra delay by Reinflesch, I think, threw Reyes off a little bit. He didn't get a good jump at all, and he was easy pickings.
And, of course, the big thing with that was that throw by Schnell right on the money.
Count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jens. It can be a 1-2-3 inning, sort of, if Brad can get Marcus.
Jens calling time. And Brad going to stay ready.
Can't see it on that shot, but the flag out in center field is now just hanging on the, there's a short fly ball to left, and it drops in, a base hit. Hansen throwing it in. They get him? No. Give Jens a base hit, and he goes to second on the E7. I think Carson was caught a little off guard that Marcus Jens was so aggressive. And that brings up Emilio Ramos, who singled his first trip up. He does that again, Charlie. They're going to have a run.
The Heavy Hitters not just good on the bats, also very good on the base paths, as we just saw with Reyes and Jens.
Brad Reinflesh's first pitch is a little bit low and outside. There are 2 outs. We're in the top of the second inning, no score. There's the ball hit out to left. Hansen makes the catch. Little indecision between him and Palmquist, but Hansen had the easier try, so he took it. After an inning and a half, still no score.
Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number...
Jimmy Jurgensen getting ready to step up into the box and lead off the second inning. So far in the ball game, the Heavy Hitters have stranded 4 base runners. So not good for them, good for us.
Jimmy coming in for the second inning of work on Santiago.
Jimmy takes that first breaking ball a little bit outside. Jimmy's favorite actor is Denzel Washington. Good choice.
Santiago has a very, very upright pitching motion. Kind of released it a little bit early.
Jimmy hits it hard and deep to left center field. Nobody's going to get to that one. It's all the way to the wall. Jimmy's going to trot into second with a stand-up double. Wow.
Very easy double for Jimmy. That is his 4th of the year, bringing up his already good stats. Riley Palmquist has struggled on hitting early in the year.
Riley, a native of Waukesha, Wisconsin. Never guess which college he goes to. Marion.
Lots of.
Did we ever count up how many Marion guys we had?
I think we did at one
We
point.
lost. I
know.
should say, I lost the preseason roster we had up here.
I know I saw it before. Here we are.
I know we talked about it, a couple of games ago. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count to Riley. Jimmy Jurgensen on at second with the leadoff double.
7 active Sheboygan A's, or 7 Sheboygan A's that are active on Marion.
Pop up into short right. Racing in is the right fielder, and making the grab is Santee. And Jimmy's going to have to hold on at second base. Nice play by the right fielder. He had to go a long ways. Justin Schnell. Justin had that dynamite play in the first inning, I believe it was, when he threw out the runner, or in the second inning when he threw out that runner trying to steal. Reyes. Well, he put a number into Reyes's caught stealing column because he came in 10-0 on stolen bases. Now he's 10-1.
And I mean, just seeing his speed, seeing how how willing he was to lean, makes sense that he was so effective on stealing. But now,
Very aggressive. You're right. He was running on the first pitch, but I believe it was fouled back. And then Rindfleisch changed his approach to holding him. And it worked. The ball gets past the catcher on a swing and a miss. It's going to be a pass ball.
CJ, I'm sure, not happy with the passed ball call.
Then I guess you'll just have to trust me. But CJ has trouble with that too.
CG too busy with responsibilities.
He's got a little more to do tonight than he does normally. And normally he's got too much to do.
Yeah.
2-2 is the count to Schnell. There's a line drive base hit to left center field, and that bring home Jimmy. Good piece of hitting by Justin.
Schnell coming into this game not too great on the bat, 138 average with only singles on the year, but now settling in with the RBI there.
Walker takes a ball on that first pitch. Wouldn't expect Schnell to be stealing, but he does have a nice lead over at first.
Walker going to chip one foul. Walker a little bit slow on the year as well. 185 average and a 246 slugging, but he has managed to walk a decent bit. 10 walks on the year so far.
He's trying to find his stroke still. We talked about, what we mentioned, he was 380 last year, and he's just looking to find his groove, that average up. There's a ball hit to right. Santee and the second baseman racing out, and communication was made right at the end. Santee made the catch out and right. And there's 2 outs now for the leadoff batter, Bennett Becker.
Gus Walker still just struggling to find that stroke from last year. Hit 394.
394
last
Ooh.
year. A full 200 points of average lower currently.
I was 10 points off. Sorry about that. Yikes.
This goes to show how good Walker was last year, and just sometimes baseball you'll get some slow starts. Gus Walker going through that right now. Sometimes a little bit of a change. Went through the walk-up song change. And ball on the outside there.
Yeah, good eye by Bennett. Schnell's on at first. He got the RBI single that drove home Jurgensen. Pitch a little bit low.
Becker, a solid base walker. 6 walks on the year so far. Going in for the 3-1 count. Definitely looking for something to hit, but he will take the walk.
Good eye by Bennett. See, with Santiago, we mentioned he had 53 strikeouts. In those 33 innings, he only walked 7. He has walked 2 here tonight, so that number going up a little bit. Brady Zach Risen was called out on strikes his first time up. Although Brady'd be the kind of kid we'd want up there in a situation like this.
Brady, the team leader in RBIs with 12 so far on the year.
Takes that pitch up. It evens the count at 1-1. We're in the bottom of the second. Sheboygan has 1 run in so far. There are 2 outs. Schnell's on at second. He'll be running like the wind if there's a base hit. We mentioned Santiago's got a nice fastball. There's a lot of pop. Ball up the middle. If it gets through, it might score a run. It won't get through. Strong throw to first is not in time. Good hustle. And the bases are loaded for Harry Stelt.
Infield hit for for Brady Zackerson. Apologies. Allows Harry Stout to come aboard, and Harry again started off his year a little bit slow in the hitting, but has since really ramped it up. 326 average, 348.
I remember that last at bat when he had bases low or men on base. He took that first pitch in that Lombard game and stroked one right out to center for a base hit. He took that first pitch for a strike, and this one is a ball, so it evens the count at 1-1.
Now, while Harry did have that slow start on hitting, did a very good job on still getting on base, a .523 on base percentage, so getting on base in over half of his plate appearances.
1 and 2 it is. Harry swings and misses, strike 3. Great opportunity for Sheboygan, but they did get 1 after 2 complete. Sheboygan on top, 1-0. Charlie, are we on spill alert tonight?
Always on alert for it, but just hoping it won't happen.
I think anytime there's an open bottle of Coke on the counter, we better be on spill alert. Maybe that should be automatic. Whenever there's an open can of soda on the counter, we should have some paper towels handy instead of having to run into the other room.
Just always have paper towels ready, yeah, regardless.
Ryan Flesch still on the mound for Sheboygan. He's pitched 2 shutout innings. Left 4 runners stranded.
The
heavy hitters are getting runners on base. They're not getting them home.
And I think right there Jimenez wanted to change that with that one swing of the bat. Swings through it. 1-1 count now.
Ball is popped up on the infield. Becker calling. Makes the grab. There's one out. It's going to bring up Ryan Santee, the right fielder. Ryan had a couple of nice plays out and right in Sheboygan's second inning. And he singled his first time up, was stranded on second base, however.
Something that Brad is all too familiar with, stranding other people on base. That's what you can get with someone who strikes out as many batters as Rindfleisch does.
Exactly. He puts them on. Hopefully they stay on. Don't get home.
And there, 19 walks given up on the year, 10 hits. Puts on a decent number of base runners, but still managing to keep the ERA low. Something very good.
Well, one of the problems with that is that this is scheduled to be a 9-inning game tonight, I believe. But with the number of pitches that he builds up through the innings, it's pretty hard to keep him in there to the very end.
Likely going to be relying on some bullpen work out here will be the A's. Throws that one a little bit high.
Yeah, we mentioned Brad had 2 complete games. Those complete games were 7-inning ball games, not 9. So 4-pitch walk to Santee. That brings up the third baseman, Pedro Bobonaya.
Bobonaya, just a tremendous hitter. As we mentioned, the 500 average. What stands out to me a little bit more is the 1.125 slugging percentage. So just when he hits it, every at bat, just when not including walks, anything like that, he's hitting the ball very well.
You know what we want this time, Charlie, is what he did in the first at bat. Strikeout.
Strikeout would be very nice for us, but
Pedro B is a big hitter. Takes a mighty swing. There's a nice pitch on the outside corner by Brad. Makes the count no balls and 2 strikes. Santee not taking a big lead over at first.
Bobonaya with 9 extra base hits. And again, very dangerous hitter up here, but Brad Rindfleisch not going to be perturbed by that.
Yeah, good job of hanging in there by Pedro.
Now, and I think looped a little bit off of Schnell's helmet.
Jackson Tillman in the house. He's bat boy. So is his sister Olivia.
Has his own uniform.
That's cool, being the bat boy and having a uniform. Did he have the black jersey?
He does have the black jersey on.
Oh, that is awesome. Oh, a nice pitch by Brad Rindfleisch, and Pedro was fooled. Half-hearted swing. It's another strikeout. And there's 2 outs now in the third. That strikeout was strikeout number 4 of the ball game for Rindfleisch. And I think that gives him...
Still just furthering his lead over
Yeah, he had
Reklaitis.
a 1 strikeout lead coming in. It's up to 5 now.
Very tight race between Rindfleisch and Reklaitis for the strikeout crown for the A's.
Santee, again, not taking a big lead. Ball is fouled off, straight back.
Now, Rindfleisch, of course, does give up a number of walks, but one thing that, Rindfleisch, Reklaitis, 2 of our top pitchers. Reklaitis, though, pretty clearly the ace of the staff. Only 1 walk given up so far in 21 innings pitched for Reklaitis. Of course, likely not going to be seeing him today.
Probably not even in the ballpark. I would think he's going to pitch one of the 2 games on Saturday. The infield was falling asleep. Nobody covered second base. It looked like they had a chance at Santee, but nobody covering second. Usually when you have a left-handed hitter, the shortstop would cover the bag on a steal attempt. If it's a left-handed hitter, shortstop. If it's a right-handed hitter, the second baseman usually takes the throw. But in that case, nobody was there.
Just a bit of a weird play, a late jump. No, late jump, late throw in.
The funny thing is, if somebody would have been there, they would have had a shot at the base stealer. As it is, Santee's on at second with 2 outs.
Of course, going back to that stolen base, a lot of times, when someone does end up stealing a base, usually the crowd pretty vocal about it. That one, a very subdued stolen base. Not much noise coming from
Joey Lawrence, the
everyone
first
out here.
baseman, is up. Joey walked his first time. One of 2 walks Brad has issued tonight. Pitch on the inside. Evens the count at 2-2. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And top that off with a man on second. Shh! Don't be talking about that.
Another one fouled off.
Good job of hanging in.
Something that this Heavy Hitters team is doing very well is keeping the bats alive, which something is CJ's not too happy with.
Well, we're almost an hour in, but that's what happens when you put a lot of runners on. And good observation by CJ. If you'd stop putting runners on, we might speed up the game a little bit. You'd think with a 1-0 score we'd blow through the innings, but that's definitely not the case. They got the runner picked off a second. Good throw over to third, and they got him. Make that a 1-4-5 pickoff of the runner. 2-4-5.
And with that, the A's will keep the score at 1-0, and they are ready to hopefully do a little bit more with Carson Hansen, Jacob Neese, and Jimmy Jurgensen coming up in the bottom half of the inning.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild.
Carson Hansen will be stepping in to lead off the third inning. Through 2.5 innings, Sheboygan is on top, 1-0. Justin Schnell drove in Jimmy Jurgensen in the second inning for Sheboygan's lone run. And Brad Reinflesch has been pitching very steady. Ground ball to Reyes at second. His throw to the first baseman, Lawrence, is just in time. They get a 4-3 putout, and that's going to bring up Jacob Neese. Neese hit that little tapper to Santiago to end the first inning.
He's going
Sheboygan
to
has stranded 5 runners too, Charlie.
lots of base runners out here for both teams.
Hey, that was quite a play. That time somebody covered the bag when they threw it over. It made a big difference. Got that guy picked off. It's amazing when you do the little things how much it can help. It's a bouncing ball right back to the pitcher again. Good play by Santiago to pick that one off.
And one thing I noticed with that play by Santiago was just how long he took, with the leg up before pitching it.
Oh,
Really, disrupt the timing of the hitter, something that, MLB very famous by Johnny Cueto. Had a lot of times where he'd just, stand up there for a while, do a little bit of a shuffle.
Jimmy doubled and scored back in the second. 2-0 is the count. Starting to get a little darker now.
Lights out here at Wildwood starting to come on a bit.
The ball is hit to Lawrence at first. Bat is cracked. Ends just short of the first base bag, but that ground out to first is going to be the third out of the third inning, and after 3 complete, Sheboygan on top, 1-0.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Getting ready to start the 4th inning. Leading off is going to be Joey Lawrence, the first baseman, number 27. Lawrence walked his first time up. We talked about leaving runners on base. Sheboygan leads not only in the runs scored, but also in the left on base. They've left 5 on through 3 innings. Through 3 innings, the heavy hitters have left 4 on. Let's see if we can get we kind of had a 1-2-3 inning the last 2 innings. Only 3 guys came up to bat, but in both innings somebody got on, only to get picked off and thrown out stealing.
Bit unconventional ways of getting out of the innings, but still an out is an out in baseball, as swinging through that for strike number 2 is Lawrence.
1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Lawrence doing a good job on defense over at first base. Well, that pitch looked pretty close, just a little bit outside. Evens the count at 2-2.
And Ryan Flesh not really showing any emotions. Not, if he thought that pitch should have been in, not really showing it. That one he knew was not going to be called for a strike.
Well, way high and outside.
And that's just something that you can get sometimes with Ryan Flesh. A lot of those walks can pitch a little bit wildly at times, but when he hits his marks, they are very tough to hit.
Pitch right down the middle. Lawrence swung and missed. Another strikeout for Ryan Flesh. And that's going to bring up Eric Rodriguez, the left fielder.
5 Ks already on the day for Ryan Flesh. Rodriguez being one of the victims of a strikeout in his first plate appearance.
Taps that one foul. I think I mentioned earlier our next game is going to be a doubleheader on Saturday against Kenosha. Starting time is 1 p.m. Charlie, you going to be here for that game?
I don't believe I am.
So we might have Lucas Schulze helping out in the booth. I think Bill will be back. Is that right, CJ? Bill going to be back?
For Saturday. We get the
Dave Inzi, one of the ushers, coming in to warm up. Can't blame you. Hey, there's a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the number 6 hitter and left fielder, Eric Rodriguez. Eric was a strikeout victim, called strike. There's a little bouncer to Ryan Flesh. He picks it up and makes the play. We got 2 quick outs in the 4th inning. That's good, Charlie. Conserve those pitches.
Very nice to get those quick outs on the day, both for Ryan Flesh's arm, being able to pitch a little bit longer if he, gets some of those quick at-bats.
Sean Quaylez, the catcher, is up. Quaylez popped to Bennett Becker in the 2nd, leading off. Yes.
That one a little bit high again.
It's never too late.
Sometimes up here on the booth you get, some different pronunciations between different people up here. Usually someone will have the right pronunciation, but...
Popped it up, and Schnell, he had it in his glove and it popped out. Oh my. Had to go down to one knee. He was sliding as he tried to make the grab.
Don't believe that one was on camera, just our camera view, not quite to the side enough to get that. But again, just the one-legged slide on there. Had it in his glove for a little bit, but not going to be able to do anything.
No error issued on that play. It was a good attempt by Schnell. There's a swing. Check swing, but went around too far. John Coons, the first base umpire, had a good look at it and made the call. 2-2. Ball is popped up into short left. Hansen with the catch, and after 3.5 innings of play, Sheboygan up 1-0.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. Well, I'll take you home. Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Charlie, they just announced somebody's car keys were lost. Sheila Sergila announcing that she had them down there, and
so Riley Palmquist getting set to lead off the inning.
Yeah, I was going to say I worked 5th grade sports day over at South High, and I don't know, about halfway through, somebody turned in car keys up in the booth. So I'm announcing for like the next hour, every few minutes, got some car keys up here in the booth. You're not coming home. And we got done, sent all the kids home. Nobody had still picked them up. Finally, somebody up in the booth thought, you know who they belong to? One of the student helpers, because they had gone back to school towards the end. So we took them over to the school office, and one of the gals sitting in the office with the secretaries, one of the runners, said, "Oh, I remember those keys. They belonged to somebody that was out there," but she couldn't remember the kid.
Yeah.
But it was pretty interesting to have that happen. And fouling out was Riley Palmquist. Joey Lawrence making the catch in foul territory.
Of course, sometimes with just going still with the keys story at least. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult if you don't have anything like distinguishing things apart. But
well, I was even telling you, this is a Ford vehicle. It's got a pink trinket on here, but hopefully that student got her I think it was a she, got her keys. And give a shout out to the South High students that went out and helped for 5th grade sports day. We thank them. And Peter Tautenoff, their Phi-Ed teacher, always picks a good crew to work for us, the Phi-Ed teachers in the city. Of course, I really enjoy doing announcing for that.
For people listening to this broadcast, I'm going to assume they're not your keys, but we would still love you to come out to the park and not forget your keys.
Not too late. Hey, they're still going to be selling 50-50 tickets in not too long. You can get here for that. Win yourself a couple $100 maybe. There's a good crowd tonight. Hopefully they spend their money on that 50-50.
Very nice. Well, we'll be sure to have how much was spent on the 50-50 when that's done, as Schnell will ground that over to second. And an easy ground out for the catcher.
And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Gus Walker. Walker hit a short fly ball out to right field his first time up that Santee made a nice play on.
And there's a little bit of miscommunication on that play, but still didn't end up hurting the Heavy Hitters.
They got it ironed out before they clunked heads. We did have a collision out there on that State League Challenge series. It was Santiago with a good fastball there. Got Gus to swing and miss. Mike Hansen in the house tonight. Haven't seen Mike in a few games. There's a drive out to left center field, but high. And making the grab out there was Jimenez. And Gus has hit the ball hard, pretty good, but has nothing to show for it. But after 4 innings of play, Sheboygan's still on top.
Number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Then her dad walked in. Dude, we're done eating. Use a napkin. Serious? Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Why so serious?
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legendary.
Well, temperature right now is down to 53 degrees. If you're coming out here late, bring a coat. Earmuffs, gloves, and a hat.
Come on, it's not that bad.
Or come up here where it's about 80 degrees. CJ turned the heater on.
Sweating out here with...
Are we inviting sections up to warm up and then sending them back out each half inning?
Kevin
Reyes is going to lead off the fifth inning for the Heavy Hitters. Reyes reached on an error and then was thrown out attempting to steal. You don't want to let that young man get on. He's definitely a base-stealing threat. Charlie mentioned earlier he's got 10 on the year. He's only been caught once. That was tonight.
Late
Breaking ball by Rindfleisch.
Bit of a late swing on that one.
Yeah, right. Might have been looking for the fastball. Palmquist. Good throw there. Jimmy making a catch. 6-3 put out. Good to get that leadoff hitter leading off the inning. Although Reyes would seem to be a good candidate for a leadoff hitter if he can get on enough and, with his stolen base ability.
And one of those players that can turn a single into a double just with speed on the bases, either, if it's hit hard or afterwards with the stolen base.
Marcus Jens, the DH, is up next. Marcus singled to left field and then went to second when Carson Hansen didn't field the ball cleanly. Good hustle by Marcus.
Jens again going to foul one off.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to say this or not, Charlie, but Brad is really pouring in the strikes recently. Hopefully he can keep that up.
Has been doing very well. Recently did give up a walk back in third, but since then has been firing on all cylinders, as Jen's fouling off a third one in a row. Number of foul balls outside of the stadium for the kids and the fans to redeem for $1 at our concession stand. Concession stand, always a very good place to visit when you're at the park as well. Very affordable, unlike a lot of, major league stadiums, I would say. Jen's going to step out.
I'm glad I looked at this schedule again, Charlie, because I gave us some wrong information. On Saturday, Sheboygan is at Kenosha for a doubleheader. They will be home on Sunday, the 18th, for another doubleheader against Kenosha starting at 1 o'clock.
I believe Saturday a bit of a weird case where I don't believe we will be streaming that one. We'll not be streaming it, but it will be played here at Wildwood still. Just reschedule
That's
that
right.
to
You're
play
right.
here. Okay.
Right. It's Kenosha's home games on the 17th. We will not be live streaming, but the A's will be here. The concession stand will be open. You can get the pretzel bits or hot dogs or hamburgers or brats. But we will be live streaming on the 18th.
We'll be here on Sunday 4, and that's something that you're really going to want to come to the park on. That is Dad Bod Contest. It's going to be on Sunday. Something that if you were tuning into the stream before the game would have seen on our pre-game showing.
Good breaking ball. Jen's finally out. The strikeout, that's number 6.
Rindfleisch really taking his time before pitching that one. Again, that's something that the pitcher is really trying to do. They're always trying to throw off the hitter's timing. And by waiting a long time before pitching, by being set for so long, either you can get under the skin of the hitter, make them call time, or just make them wait.
Pitch rode in on Ramos, and he took one on the side. Two outs. Ramos, the tying run, is on first. If I remember correctly, he did reach in the first, but I don't remember him ever trying to take off on a steal attempt. Now with two outs, might be a little different. He might be running. We'll have to see.
Ryan Flesch, while he does give up a fair few walks, not too much of a hit batsman pitcher. That's his second one of the year.
And he's not a headhunter.
Nope. Sometimes, with someone who has as much strikeout potential, sometimes can lose control of it, leads to a lot of walks, and sometimes if those pitches go inside, end up being some hit batsman.
Jimenez up. He's 0 for 2. No balls and 2 strikes. We have 2 outs. We're in the 5th.
Past few innings going quite a bit quicker than our first 3.
Ball popped up on the infield. Harry drifting back and makes the easy catch. After 4.5, Sheboygan still on top.
Number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
The musical chairs is rigged.
Musical chairs, one of our many between.
CJ presenting, pretending he didn't hear that. I said the musical chairs is rigged.
Top of the order set to come up for Sheboygan, Becker, Zackerson, and Stelt.
Hey, Bennett's been a terrific leadoff hitter. Reached on a hit by pitch and a walk.
So far does not have an official at-bat yet.
No. Hopefully he can get on here in the 5th inning. Get us some more runs.
Santiago first, 1 high.
Felix Santiago pitching a nice ball game.
Santiago can tell that, it's starting to get a little bit colder. He's pulled the scarf up over the mouth now. Had it just around the neck earlier.
Swing and a miss that time by Bennett. 0-3-0 for the Heavy Hitters. Sheboygan is 1-3-2 is what it should be. We have 2 errors. I don't know if you want to change that, Grant. 2 errors for us. Pitch is up a little bit high, evens the count at 2-2. Brady Zackerson rating on deck. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Not a good swing that time by Bennett.
That looked like a swing where you can tell that right as he started moving his arms, did not want to keep swinging at it, but at that point it's just a little bit too late.
Exactly. 4th strikeout for Santiago. You know what I think we're missing?
I think we're missing
a few
the
more
pitching.
pieces of paper.
We always need more paper. No such thing as too much paper out here. Santiago, a very good strikeout pitcher. We did mention this earlier on in the game, how he had 53 strikeouts in 33 innings coming into this game.
57 now. There's a line drive down the right field line, but foul into the bullpen area. So on Brady's sheet, he mentions he's from Hutchinson, Minnesota, but what's interesting is he had 2 listed teams as his favorites, the Minnesota Twins, which makes a lot of sense, but also the Toronto Blue Jays. Where does that come in?
That's when that's a little bit confusing, because you'd think that the Twins and the Jays not the biggest fans of each other, as that one will be a not a fully checked swing.
Yeah, he didn't check a swing, that's why he's out.
Attempted check swing.
Right, there
on
you
that
go.
one.
That brings up Harry Stelt. Harry 0 for 2 in the ball game.
Harry having just a very unique way to start off his year as he takes the first one for a strike. 15 hits, but 17 walks coming into this game.
Yeah, he's always been a good walk guy. Well, Harry seems to be not seeing the ball so well tonight. Took that first pitch for a strike, which was a good pitch by Santiago, but then he swung at one low and away. That was clearly out of the strike zone. That pitch is not offered at. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th.
And Harry lines that one foul. Harry, again, as you've mentioned, not much of a strikeout guy. 21 strikeouts in the year last year. Already up to now, I believe that
2
is...
tonight.
Yep, 2 tonight, so bring him up to 14 on the year already.
Yeah, and what did you say he had last year, 20 or 21?
21 total.
Right.
Through 57 games.
Right. What are we in, number 20 tonight?
Yeah, number 20.
We're 10 and 9 coming in, so this is game number 20.
But Harry managing to work the count full.
Santiago taking a long time getting the sign. Now he delivers. That ball right off the chest protector of Paul Grauman, and he looks like he's hurt.
And just taking a little bit of time to rest up on that one.
That's the right move by Cuelez to get the ball from the umpire and walk it out to the pitcher and have a little meeting. And what they're doing is giving Paul Grauman a chance to recover from the shock of being hit. You know, that's a veteran play by the catcher. And you could see the concern on Sean Cuelez and Harry for Paul. Good sportsmanship there.
It's always a little bit scary when the ump gets hit. Of course, it's a good thing that the home plate umpire has a decent bit of protection, as Harry going to foul another one into the parking lot. Don't see where it landed.
Yeah. Kids are trying to track it down, navigating cars going up and down New Jersey Avenue. Good pitch by Santiago, and Harry goes down swinging. And Santiago struck out the side in the 5th, but after 5 complete, Sheboygan's still on top.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
We pulled out the roster sheet for the Heavy Hitters and see what information they had on Felix Santiago. He's a good one. He pitched in the Yankees and the Royals organization, so he was in the minor leagues, and you can tell it. He's a very good pitcher, knows what he's doing out there on the mound.
Believe I have his stats from the minors up. Is that one fouled away? Was in the Yankee system in 2013 and 14. Was out in 2015 for
got
the
an
Royals.
age on that guy?
We got 27.
Okay.
Or 29, sorry.
That's all right. Santi is 1 for 1 with a walk. He has done a nice job in right field for the Heavy Hitters. Ryan Flesh's pitch is a little bit high and inside. Evens the count at 2-2. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Sheboygan on top 1-0. Bouncing ball fouled on the first base side.
Santi fell victim to a very nice play by Justin Schnell, picking him off at second base. Not usual that you see the pickoff on second base all the way out there.
I think, again, we had something like that earlier in the season, but I think to us, the other team pulled off the pickoff play. And I mentioned, that's usually a called play, and that's looks like what happened with us, too, was a called play. Our middle infielder cut behind the runner and caught him way off guard and had to throw him out at third, but we got him out. Full count to Santi. And breaking pitch hangs outside.
Second walk drawn for Santi on the day.
That brings up Pedro Bobonaya.
Bobonaya struck out twice so far today, and probably for the best considering his stats so far when he's made contact. Just going to watch one out there.
Ryan Flesh working into the 6th inning. He has 2 complete games on the year, so he's used to this. Pitching deep in the ball games. We mentioned this is going to be a 9-inning affair.
One count.
Yeah, Santi not taking a big lead over at first base either, although he was running one of the other times. He does have a stolen base. Caught off guard, and I'm talking about the announcers.
I think caught everyone off guard a little bit when he took that stolen base.
Joey Lawrence waiting on deck. Flesh pitch up and in, gets past Schnell, and Santee will advance to second. What do you think, Charlie? Pass ball, wild pitch?
I think that one's definitely a wild pitch on that one. Was very inside. Bubnaya barely getting out of the way.
So Santee advances to second base on the wild pitch. Pedro still at bat. He's got a 2-2 count. You mentioned that Pedro, a very dangerous hitter.
Ryan Flesh hoping to give him the golden sombrero, 3 strikeouts. I think that was the golden sombrero, is the 3 strikeouts. 3 or 4.
Boy, we got to know this. It can't be 3 or 4. It's got to be one or the other. Hey, got him. It is 3 strikeouts for sure. We're not sure if it's a golden sombrero or not.
Well,
get that smartphone out.
Got to get the research in. We're always prepared.
It's in our research department, about 24 people deep.
I wish we had that. Golden sombrero was 4 strikeouts. I was wrong initially.
Okay. Lawrence walked and struck out his 2 times up. There's 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning. There's a ball that's hit deep but foul. Got all of that one.
That one, very luckily for the A's, going foul. It's a very strong line drive. Would have definitely scored a run if that was fair.
Oh, those black jerseys really show up nice on our monitor up here.
Doesn't show up as nice as we'd want with the netting, but...
Yeah, we have to have that one window closed, too. Ball, another one in the dirt, gets by Schnell, and Santee advances to third on another wild pitch.
And just something that sometimes you deal with a pitcher like Ryan Flesh, who is so dependent on those 3 true outcomes, those strikeouts and those walks. You can sometimes see those wild pitches in there. And with that, a walk, as well as just 2 wild pitches, leading a runner onto third. But still managing to retire someone without any damage being done, as the infield is moved in on the grass.
Here's where strikeouts play a big part. Infield is moved in, trying to cut off the runner at third. 1-1 is the count. That ball is hit deep to center field. Walker looks like he's got the beat on it. He'll make the catch. But plenty deep for Santee to tag up and score, and we're tied at 1.
That one, a very nicely hit ball, but really just the big thing on that one was those wild pitches bringing in the runner to a position where the sac fly does score.
Yeah, and that's because of their wild pitches and not pass balls, they count as an earned run. That's why to make a determination between a pass ball and a wild pitch does have an impact, especially on the ERA of the pitcher. 2 outs, nobody on. Run in for the heavy hitters.
Gus Walker very active on the defensive end. His 50th putout of the year right there. So he's caught 50 fly balls out to him. Had the 1-2 game stretch where he had about 11 within those 2 games.
That's right. Yeah, remember that.
Very much helping him out. But Gus Walker, a very reliable center fielder.
Breaking ball just a little bit high. 3-0 is the count.
Didn't quite break as much as Ryan Flesh wanted. Just to a 3-0 count for Rodriguez.
That pitch is inside for ball 4.
No, actually, it was a late call strike, I believe. Nope. Okay, a little bit of confusion on how the umpire's going.
Paul Groman stepped out and he pointed towards first, and we weren't sure if he was sending the runner to first or calling a strike. We'll blame that one on the umpire.
Yeah. I mean, it's if we Grant did have, again, because of that confusion, we did, I initially saw, the 3-1 count from, Grant adding a strike, but again, that's just confusion from the umpire.
Quayles, the heavy hitter catcher, is up. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's hit the ball both times, though.
That one.
Ball is foul ticked for strike 1.
That one kind of looked like it, hit off like the end of the bat. For a second, I thought that might have hit him, but.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe it didn't hit anything, but the first runner on first didn't move, so I knew it was foul.
That one.
Another swing and a foul.
Another one that might have hit Quayles. Sometimes that's what you can get with an active hitter, looking to do a little bit more from the bat on an inside pitch.
Pitch a little bit low. Was close, but not in the strike zone.
And
Quayles coming into today's game was hitting .333. Playing quite a bit, has 45 plate appearances, 42 at bats.
That last play made the crowd here out at
Yeah,
Wildwood
they were,
a little bit unhappy.
They were letting No Grauman know what they thought.
That one skied out. And hopefully no windows broken.
Quayles does have a home run this year. Of course, we don't talk about that. He hasn't struck out yet.
Good at, making contact with the ball. He's right there. He'll foul it off.
Schnell doing a good job behind the plate. Rindfleisch pitching a good ball game.
Schnell definitely the most reliable defensive catcher that the A's have.
Yeah, that's the way it looks so far. You're right. And he has the lone RBI in the ball game for Sheboygan. That pitch just off the outside corner, very close. Evens the count at 2-2.
Not as much of a rise from the crowd out here. That one less close to the plate. Quayles settling in. And
Rodriguez has not been taking a big lead over at first so far. He's not going on this pitch, and that one's right on the outside corner for a called strike 3. And that ends the top half of the 6th, but not before the Milwaukee Heavy Hitters score a run. And as we go to the 6th, the score is all tied.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Tom Keys, a board member of the Sheboygan County Baseball Association, better known as the Old Timers, won the trivia question here at the ballpark. Guess that right. Good job, Tom. And we have a trivia question for tonight's ball game. This is not baseball related. This is more culture. Only one person so far has won an Oscar and an Olympic gold medal. Who is it?
Ooh.
Only one person so far has won an Oscar and an Olympic gold medal. Who would that be?
I don't know enough about movies to be able to answer that.
See, you got to be culturally aware up here.
I just know baseball up here.
I know. We try to broaden our horizons. Hanson fouls that one back.
We'll
wait an hour or two to give you the answer. CJ's pretty busy. He was not able to listen to the question. And Bill's not here to tell us Mike Casper.
As much as we wish.
Yeah, right. Grant, who's the only person to win an Oscar and an Olympic gold medal? We know. We're pretty smart down at this end. Bouncer right up the middle, but Santiago with the quick hands, able to spear it before it goes out into center field and records the out. That's his third play off the mound.
It's been very active on fielding. Not something you always see with the, with the pitcher.
Well,
but Santiago managing to get some grounders up the middle that he's been able to field.
Yeah, right. Jacob Neese.
CJ noting a little bit of a stance change from normal. He pops that one.
That's going to drift out of play. Pedro B going over, but all he could do is look at it. It was way out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Neese working from behind in the count. See if he can get a base hit. Swing got away from the catcher, but he throws down to first for the putout. So Jacob strikes out, and that brings up Jimmy Jurgensen. And since we got 2 outs, we better give you the answer to the trivia question. Again, only one person so far has won an Oscar and an Olympic gold medal. Who is it? It is Kobe Bryant. He won in 2018 for an animated short called Dear Basketball, and he won Olympic gold in 2008 and 2012. So there's your trivia question for tonight. Jimmy swinging through that fastball.
Jimmy, a very solid hitter, 230 average, 338 on base, and 328 slugging as he will hit that one over to first and easily flipped over, and that will retire the side. So after the end of 6, our score is still tied.
You morphed from animal.
Mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For your heating and cooling needs, call Advanced Comfort Systems, Sheboygan's only Carrier factory authorized dealer.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable.
$275 being given away in the 50-50. And all of you people out there in internet land missed out on it because you're home sitting and watching a game instead of at the ballpark.
As much as
when are you guys going to learn?
I mean, as much as we like, that you guys are listening to us, you also could have earned $270 for.
You know what? They could be here at the ballpark. They could go home at night and listen to us later in the evening. Because they could live stream us after the fact.
They could. Or they could be at the park and still live streaming us.
Yeah, I could watch it on their smartphone. Kevin Reyes leading off. Takes that first pitch for a ball. Reyes reached on an error and grounded to short. Hit that one not deep center field. Walker races in and makes the grab. Quick out to lead off the 7th, and that brings up the number 9 hitter, Marcus Jens.
Kevin Reyes, another player for Milwaukee that is part of a that has experience in the MLB system, part of the Royals organization. That one chipped foul. Played a little bit back in some of the rookie ball for Kansas City.
Was he a position player?
Yep, Kevin Reyes right there.
That's Reyes. Oh, Reyes is the
Kevin
okay,
Reyes.
I thought you were talking about Jens.
No,
Jens.
Jens.
A slow roller to Harry. Gloves it. He's not going to get him. Give Jens a base hit. I don't think Harry would have got him.
That one, a little bit of dispute on whether that was a hit or an error. I'll trust Marty's judgment on this, and I believe he's saying single.
Well, we'll go 2-1. We'll go with the error.
All right.
E5. I'm not totally convinced on it, but
we will call it an error on that one.
Ramos, the leadoff hitter, is up. We're still trying to determine whether it's a hit or an error. What are we going with, guys?
I think we're going error. Yep, so
the official score down on the end, Grant? Error?
Think we're
there it is.
Going to end up giving it an
I get
error.
overvoted again. Here it's 3-1. At home it doesn't matter.
Harry has...
There's a pitch in there for a strike.
Oh, to count. Harry, a little bit of a difficult day year on fielding, rather. His 7th error so far on the season. Just for Harry.
There's a roller to Harry again. He throws to second for the force out. And Becker not able to make a throw to second. 5-4 put out at second base. And reaching on the fielder's choice is Ramos.
Jen's pretty unhappy with that call, but John Kuhn's not going to budge on that.
The nice thing about that fielder's choice is you don't have to tag the runner. All you got to do is have your foot on the base.
And you're going for a little bit of a push bunt with 2
Jimenez
outs.
0 for 3, trying to get on any way he can. Love to get his teammate Ryan Santee up. Santee's been on all 3 times.
Pickoff play, nothing doing.
We had a similar situation back in the 5th with Ramos on at first with 2 outs. I don't remember him attempting any steals. That ball is popped up into the outfield. Walker racing over, but it's going to be Hansen making the catch and left. And that ends the top half of the 7th. When we go to the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Palmquist, Schnell, and Walker up.
The great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family-owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community, and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot.
Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family-owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community, and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
We've been talking throughout the course of the game about Felix Santiago and his great pitching and fielding. Charlie, he's got a string of 13 Sheboygan A's retired in a row. And we've got the bottom part of the order coming up here in the 7th. This would be a great time to produce one more run and take that lead as we head into the 8th. But Santiago pitching a whale of a ball game.
Santiago had a little bit of difficulty in the first 2 innings, but since then completely flawless.
The reason I was checking that is they now have runners left on base. We continue to have 5 because we haven't gotten anybody on base in 4 innings. Pop up on the infield. Lawrence squeezes it for the out.
Sounds like there was a little bit of confusion that I think we both missed.
Well, I think what he did is he caught it and he was going to pull it out of his glove and he dropped it, but the umpire called, he had the catch and he dropped it when he was pulling it out, which was a good call.
Now getting prepared for his 3rd at-bat.
You're
responsible
welcome,
for the 1 RBI so far in the game.
Schnell takes that first pitch for a ball.
Right.
It works for them.
CJ just complaining that collegiate team has minor leaguers on them. Observing, not complaining.
If you go to the Heavy Hitters website, one of the things that they mention about their club is it's an opportunity for collegiate players to get good experience during the summer, which is the same thing that we do. But CJ's remarks were, they got how many former minor leaguers, which there's a case to be made for that. But most of the kids are in college and playing college ball, I would think. I don't know that for a fact, but what is a fact, Santiago's pitching a whale of a good ball game for the Heavy Hitters.
Now going to foul that one back.
I believe the probably the official way to say it is they're the Milwaukee Heavy Hitters.
And CJ also making another observation how Santiago different pants than the rest of the Heavy Hitters, which I didn't realize until now.
Maybe after the game we'll appeal that and get a forfeit win. If we don't win it outright.
Only if we lose we'll make that appeal. Win's a win.
Win's a win is right. 3-2 is the count. Schnell taking that pitch up high, draws a 1-out walk. And Gus has been hitting the ball pretty good tonight. Just hitting in some bad luck with a couple of flyouts. Hopefully he can find some grass out there and get a base hit.
Santiago calling Bobanaya down a little bit, up to even with the grass.
Gus takes a pitch for a strike. Schnell not much of a running thread over at first. There's a ball. It's going to drop into left field for a hit. Schnell makes it to second, and we have runners on first and second with 1 out, and we're at the top of the order now with Bennett Becker.
Of course, something that the Sheboygan A's have not seen in quite a while. Anyone on base, and now with 2 on there with 1 out.
Makes me wish I would have said he's got 10 in a row. Maybe we could have got something going in the 6th. Bennett with a good eye takes that first pitch for a ball. Schnell's on at second. Walker's on at first with a base hit. Justin Schnell walked. Bennett Becker with a good rip at that, but couldn't make contact. Santiago still throwing the heat. Boy, a pitch looked right in the strike zone, but it was called a ball. Nobody said anything, so it must have been inside. Oh,
interesting. CJ just telling us that the pitcher for Felix Santiago always wearing different pants, sort of his routine, wearing different pants than the rest of the team.
Bennett pops that one up on the infield. If it's fair, it's an automatic out. And making the grab was Pedro B. Nice catch by him, and it was in fair territory. And that brings up Brady Zachrisson. Brady 1 for 3 with an RBI chance. Brady, good extra base power. Charlie mentioned that earlier in the ball game. Need a clutch hit. A healthy cut at that pitch, but came up empty.
Prior to the game, CJ, just for convenience, asking us to write down some highlights, but haven't been too many highlights for either team these past few innings. It's been very much pitchers have been dominating throughout these middle innings. Santiago going to throw that one outside.
It evens the count at 1-1 with 2 outs.
Of course, if Zachrisson manages to get a base hit here, you would Schnell, decent enough speed on second. Could potentially score on a hit.
It'd be interesting to see if it was a reasonably, what you might think would be a reasonably close play at the plate, if Tim would send him or not. I would with 2 outs.
2 outs, and really the first time you've managed to dent Santiago's pitching.
Yep. Another pitch up high makes it 3-1. Harry waiting on deck. There's a pitch in for a strike. Makes the count 3-2. Schnell and Walker will be running on the pitch. Harry would love to get up there with the bases loaded. And a good job of hanging in there by Brady.
You got to think that if Brady manages to get a base hit at this point with Schnell taking off on second, this one most likely you're almost definitely sending them if you're Tim Moyer.
Yeah, it's nice to get that running start, that's for sure. Bouncing ball in front. Santiago, no play. It's going to be an infield hit, and that'll load the bases for Harry Stelt. Come on, Harry.
Well, when I said a base hit would score a runner, I didn't consider the infield base hit.
Hey, any way to get the bases loaded and get Harry up there. Santiago knows what kind of hitter Harry is, and he's going to be careful with him. And I know we talked earlier in the game about that base hit he got against Lombard. He swung at the first pitch. Now, the last time Harry was up, the first pitch was a breaking ball that he took for a strike. Let's see what Santiago does here. Comes with the fastball, and Harry was ready for it, but fouled it back.
Harry, 10 RBIs so far on the season. I believe second on the team. If we can rummage through all of our notes and stats and whatnot.
Snell's on at third, Walker's on at second. Ball is hit foul. Brady's on at first. There you see
Harry.
Jackson Tillman handing the ball to Paul Grauman, our home plate umpire.
Harry third on the team with 10.
Harry takes that pitch up and in. Harry down on the count again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball bounces away. Schnell coming on hard. He's going to make it. Sheboygan has a 2-1 lead on the wild pitch.
And just a unfortunate break for the hard hitters, but Sheboygan.
I would call that a fortunate break for Sheboygan.
Very fortunate for Sheboygan. Santiago, again, as you said, pitching a gem up to this point, but the wild pitch costs a run.
And Harry could break it wide open here if he can get a base hit. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Pitch is down low. I wouldn't be surprised if Santiago walks Harry. Harry's a very good hitter. Might feel more comfortable pitching to Carson Hansen. Harry comes up empty. Good fastball by Santiago, and that ends the inning, but not before Sheboygan comes up with a run. As we enter the 8th inning, it'll be Sheboygan 2, Milwaukee Heavy Hitters 1.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
At Northwoods, we are a family. And like your family, our main concern is safety. As a leader in the cleaning and sanitation industry, we're doing our utmost to support and supply essential cleaning, sanitizing, and maintenance products to your family and business. And we're introducing new products, like our Cool Water Personal Hand.
Ryan Santee is going to lead off the 8th inning for Milwaukee, and he's been a thorn in the side of Sheboygan, reaching on a hit and 2 walks and scoring the lone Milwaukee run. Brad Reinflesch still on the hill for Sheboygan as we start the 8th inning of play. You're talking about the golden sombrero. Unfortunately, that's what Harry has on.
Finally, Harry wearing the hat that no one wants to wear.
No.
Harry, not really a strikeout threat, but slow start to this year.
Santee flies that one into short left, racing out and making the play is Ryan Palmquist. Oh my, making a sliding grab along the left field line in short left, and that's out number 1, and they finally kept Ryan Santee off base. And that's going to bring up Pedro Bobonaya. Now, Pedro, if he goes down swinging this time, he would have the golden sombrero also.
Brothers in wearing a golden sombrero. And both from some of the best hitters statistically for either team.
Peel attempt, no swing on that. Pedro B able to hold up. There's one out. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Sheboygan on top.
That one, in my opinion, not too hard of a decision on the appeal.
Mighty swing.
Bobonaya
empty.
Definitely looking to tie up the game.
Definitely. Line score, Sheboygan 2-5-3. Milwaukee 1-3-0. I'll explain that a little further. 2 runs for Sheboygan on 5 hits and 3 errors. Milwaukee, 1 run, 3 hits and no errors. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count.
That one high.
Yeah, good take by Bobonaya.
I think definitely wanted to swing at that one, but recognized that it was a ball.
Breaking ball is in for a strike and a swing and a miss, and 2 outs in the 8th inning.
And another golden sombrero out on the day.
Ooh, that's right.
Lots of hat wearing today. 4 strikeouts for Bobonaya, 4 strikeouts for Stelt, which we'll pretend that second one didn't happen. More importantly, 4 strikeouts for Bobonaya. And Brad Reinflesch still on fire in this game. Hasn't given up a hit since the 2nd inning. And Joey Lawrence has the only RBI on the day for
Yeah, hit that
Milwaukee.
long sacrifice fly. That strikeout, by the way, by Brad was his 9th of the ball game. Ball is lined hard down the right field line, but foul.
That one a fortunate break for Sheboygan.
As Lawrence was heading down the first base, you could tell he knew it was going to be foul.
That one kind of just trailing out nearing the end.
1-1 is the count. There's 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Reinflesch still on the hill, throwing hard. He looks good out there tonight. That's unofficial, I take it. CJ saying he's got 170 pitches. He doesn't have that many, but he's got a bunch.
I'll eventually will keep track. I'll find some way to keep track.
Other years
reliably.
we would have that up here, but yeah.
Maybe next time Lucas is here, we'll have him do the pitch counts.
Maybe we should have him do CJ's job so he can take a little bit of a break. Ooh. 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Joey Lawrence up. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI.
And that one, a little bit upset on that one from
Yeah, I tell you, where I'm sitting, I thought it was clearly outside, but it must have been a lot closer than that.
My angle, that also looked outside. Not like terribly outside, but
3-2 pitch. Breaking ball is in there for strike 3 on a swing and a miss again. Strikeout number 10. And after 7.5 innings, Sheboygan's still on top. Hopefully they can add to their lead in the bottom of the 8th.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember.
Felix Santiago still on the mound for the Heavy Hitters. He'll be facing Hansen, Neese, and Jurgensen as we enter the bottom of the 8th inning.
Carson Hansen up first.
Sheboygan's next games will be on Saturday when they play Kenosha on Saturday in a 1 o'clock doubleheader. Those will be home games for Kenosha. They had field availability issues for Saturday, so they asked to play here, and they're going to. The games, all tickets for the Saturday doubleheader are $5. You'll be able to sit anywhere, so get here early. And it'll be Kenosha, the home team, on Saturday's doubleheader. On Sunday, the two teams will play again a doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock. Sunday's doubleheader games will be home games for Sheboygan. You can use your season tickets for that date, June 19th.
Santiago 0-2 count on Hansen.
Hansen, Pedro B makes the play, fires over to first, but not in time. Great effort by the third baseman, but his throw was a little bit late, and Hansen has an infield single.
The shift hurting a little bit for Milwaukee. Bobanaya not quite able to get there. Had to move back a little bit before getting there.
Yeah, it took a little bit of a funny hop on him. Otherwise, he might have had the ball a little quicker and been able to make the play, make the throw in time. Neese with a healthy cut, swings and misses.
Neese 0 for 3 on the year, but throughout the season has been a very reliable bat in the order. 254 average, getting on base at a 375 on base.
Ball is hit out into center field. Jimenez makes the easy catch. And that brings up Jimmy Jurgensen. Jimmy 1 for 3 with a double, and he scored the first Sheboygan A's run. Kind of interesting. Schnell has been right in the thick of it for the 2 scores Sheboygan has. Had that RBI base hit in the second, and then he scored the run in the 7th to give Sheboygan the lead, scored on that wild pitch.
And again, like we had mentioned pretty early on, back in the first inning, sometimes those, lesser scored hitters, those lesser stat hitters, manage to do very well, and that's what Chanel's doing. Slow start on offense to start the year. It's another foul out of play. But Chanel manages to get an RBI hit.
Hey, that goes back to what I was saying real early in the game. Anybody that steps into the box is dangerous. You got to take them seriously. Jimmy with an 0-2 count. Santiago's pitch in the dirt, but a nice stop by the catcher, Sean Quez. Jimmy again with a good eye. Evens the count at 2-2.
Now, Santiago mentioned before he did play some minor league ball, just a little bit of rookie league for the Yankees and Royals organizations. It's another one fouled
I
back.
think earlier this season we talked about Hansen coming off a injury, leg injury, and normally he's got pretty good speed, but coming off that injury, that might be one of the reasons we're not seeing him try to steal a base.
Fouled
Jimmy
off
getting some good
again.
rips, but he can't square it up.
Now, Santiago looking through his minor league play, averaged around a 3 ERA in rookie ball. Had
that's
a
pretty good.
3.12 in his 2 years with the Yankees, a 2.05 in his year with the Royals.
How good you have to be.
Yeah.
Jimmy again fouling it off. That one right at the plate.
And Santiago also playing a year for the, let me just double check, the Gary South Shore Railcats of the American Association Independent League. A 6.43 ERA.
Jimmy again hanging in. That time Hansen was running.
Jimmy doing a very solid job in this at-bat. Really holding off making Santiago pitch.
Yeah, 2-2 pitch coming up right here again. Ball is popped up into foul territory. And Reyes did not make the catch.
A little bit difficult to tell from our angle.
Right.
A very inconvenient pole right in the way.
I think we knew he didn't catch it when the right fielder, Sarney, picked it up off the dirt. That's why there was a long delay, because we weren't sure if he hung on to it or not. There was no indication by either umpire whether the catch was made. Hansen was running on that one.
That one questionably a balk. And fouled off again.
Jimmy doing a great job of hanging in there. They usually say if a pitcher has to deliver a lot of pitches to the hitter starts to gain an advantage because he's seen so many. Hopefully that's the case on this next delivery. Hansen on the go. There's a drive out into left field. But making the catch out there is Rodriguez, and he fires it in, and Hansen has to hustle back to first. Fans in the stands are yelling for a balk, but no call and no complaining by Sheboygan that we know of. Anyway, that brings up Riley Palmquist.
That play a little bit difficult to tell on our angle, but again, like a play earlier, caught and then a little bit of a drop on the transfer.
Was that what that was about?
Yes. Drop on the transfer on that
left
one.
Fielder?
But regardless, even if that was called for an out, then Hansen would have been out at second.
Yep. Good point.
So really, Sheboygan probably a little bit grateful that was still called an out, as it could have easily been a double play. I believe Jimmy was heading back to the dugout by that time.
Yeah, let's see if Carson tries to steal a base with 2 outs. jumps to a lead but does not go, and the pitch is up a little bit. Felix Santiago not happy with that call. He thought he had a strike on that pitch. There's a breaking ball in the strike zone. 2 balls and 1 strike. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sheboygan up a run. Carson Hansen is over at first. He got an infield hit to lead off the inning. He's on the go there. Throw down, not in time. Stolen base for Carson. Palmquist now with an RBI opportunity.
That one a little bit similar to the stolen base that I believe that was Santi had earlier, where
the second baseman was very late getting over to the base. Catcher did the right thing. He just threw it down there. He's
Reyes
got a
pretty
reasonable
much
expectation that one of his teammates is going to cover the bag.
Reyes pretty much, even with Hansen on that one. By the time the throw came in,
2-2 is the count.
Hansen not.
We're not sure what the delay is about. I think Santiago wants a new call on the pitch, new sign from his catcher.
Santiago taking his time with this one. Hansen not much of a lead over at second.
Oh, he came with the fastball and blew it right by Palmquist, and that ends the 8th inning. As we go to the top of the 9th, Sheboygan will have a 1-run lead.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you? We know it means more than just the temperature. And the people who invented modern air conditioning keep inventing new ways to make you comfortable. Carrier, turn to the experts.
For your heating and cooling needs, call Advanced Comfort Systems, Sheboygan's only Carrier factory authorized dealer.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Carrier asks, what does comfort mean to you?
And the top of the
Ryan
9th.
Palmquist. Brad Reinflesch is on the mound for Sheboygan, pitching the 9th inning. The inning will start off with Eric Rodriguez leading off. Brad has been up to the task tonight. Long fly ball to left, but Hansen has it measured and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 9th. So far in the ball game, Brad has walked 4, struck out 10. He's allowed 1 run. And a good start to the 9th inning for Sheboygan. Sean Cuellas, 0 for 3 in the ball game, is up next.
Reinflesch pitching very, very well today.
It's been a great matchup. That Santiago kid really pitched a great ball game, and Reinflesch was certainly up to the task.
This one really a pitcher's duel out here at Wildwood. 2 fantastic pitchers.
Yeah, we mentioned too, talking about Brad again, he's only allowed 3 hits. And the inning that they scored the run, they did get no hits that inning. It was the run scored on a walk and a couple of wild pitches, and then the sacrifice fly. Pitches down low, makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike.
Of course,
Cuellar's, like I mentioned, 0 for 3. His last time up, he was called out on strikes. Ball's tap foul down the left field side.
You're mentioning that Ryan Flesch, the only 2 hits given up, both of those just in the first 2 innings. Has since then allowed a few base runners, but
think of that. He's given up only 3 hits. The leadoff hitter got a hit. So only 2 hits after that leadoff guy, and we're in the 9th inning. That's for the heavy hitters. He's holding them down. Hopefully it can continue for 2 more outs. 2-2 is the count. Fastball in a little bit low. Brad wanted that call. And I was actually thinking, what pitch is he going to throw? I was thinking he would throw the breaking ball, but he didn't, obviously.
That one a very close call, maybe a little bit low, maybe a little bit outside. And fans out here at Wildwood not happy about that.
Ball is popped up. Schnell might have a play. He's back near the screen. He couldn't quite get it. It was right up against the screen. Did a good job getting rid of his mask and finding the ball, but just a little too close to the fence and couldn't catch it. Cuellar's a catcher, picking up some of the catcher gear for Schnell.
Share a little bit of camaraderie, know that
exactly.
Hey, we're catchers. We know how difficult it is to get some of the equipment on at times.
Another 3-2 pitch. Ball is lined in the right. Brady over there and makes the grab. Good job of pitching, good job of catching. And out number 2, Brad hanging in there, and here comes Moyer. I don't know what this would be about.
Kevin Reyes set to come in with 2 outs.
Meeting on the mound. I don't see anybody coming out of the dugout to replace Brad. No, they're going to leave him in. Good decision by Tim Moyer, in my estimation anyway.
I mean, at this point, you're 8 2/3. Might as well go for the complete game.
Kevin Reyes is up next. He's a kid that's batting in the A spot, but I'll tell you, he worries me, Charlie. And we saw the reason why back in the 2nd inning when he reached on an error. Even though he got thrown out stealing, he's a threat on the base paths. If he gets on first, he'll be heading down to second. And we don't want to let those Milwaukee Heavy Hitters have a chance. Let's get them 1, 2, 3 right here. Brad has retired the last 6 batters he's faced. There's a bouncer up the middle. Palmquist has to hurry. Throw is in time for out number 3, and it's a 1-2-3 9th inning. Brad Reinfleisch goes the distance, and Sheboygan beats the Milwaukee Heavy Hitters 2-1.
And this game really just a pitcher's duel the entire way through. Brad Reinfleisch really managing to just outlast the Milwaukee Heavy Hitters on this one. A very strong pitching performance from both teams, but just that finally Sheboygan able to get to Santiago in the 7th, managing to keep through, and Sheboygan just squeaking out with a 2-1 victory. 2 runs on 6 hits with 3 errors. Meanwhile, Milwaukee, 1 run on 3 hits with no errors. A very good game out here at Wildwood to finish off this non-league game. And that's the end of the game. Go over to Mike for a little bit more of some game recap.
Final line score for the ball game. The Heavy Hitters had 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. Sheboygan had 2 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. Sheboygan left 8 runners on base. Milwaukee left 7. Felix Santiago went 8 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks and 9 strikeouts. Brad Reinflesch, of course, went the distance, giving up only 3 hits and a run, had 4 walks and 10 Ks. Our next ball game will be on Saturday when Kenosha comes to town. It'll be their home games. They play a doubleheader against Sheboygan. All tickets are going to be $5. You'll be able to sit wherever you want in the ballpark. And then the same 2 teams will match up again here in Sheboygan when Kenosha comes to town for another doubleheader, but those will be Sheboygan's home games. And with that, for my partner Charlie Heim, I'm Mike Martin saying thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.